Hey guys, I'm Josh from Layzee Acres. Thank you for tuning in. We are saving the world here, one trailer at a time. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a video on roof inspection and roof maintenance. All year, guys, we've been talking about get up on your roof, check your seals every 90 days, sweep off those slide outs. Those are really, really important things, and you need to be up on your roof checking your seals every 90 days, and we're going to walk through that today. Now to start, before you get up on your roof, you need to ask yourself, is this a walkable roof? Because guess what, if it's not a walkable roof, don't stand on your roof, all right? If you get like a trailer that's like a super ultralight, non-walkable roof, you need to do your inspection from a ladder around the outside of the trailer, or you need to lay down like a big piece of plywood, like a 4x8 sheet, to spread all your weight so that you can properly check your seals. In that kind of situation, more than likely you're just going to bring it to a dealer. But if you want to do that, that's how you spread your weight out so you can go on a non-walkable roof. Today we're on a Jayco. I think it's a 14 or a 15, so it's about 5 or 6 years old. So we're going to have some natural wear and tear in the seals that we're going to be able to inspect, touch up, and see. This video is going to be for roofs that are like a rubber or a vinyl type of roof. It won't be for that old style tin roof or your fiberglass roofs you sometimes get on these really ultralight teardrops, or like those super high-end fifth wheels like the Mobile Suites or the Luxes of the world. When we talk about when you're buying a new trailer, salespeople will tell you 12-year warranty in the roof, 15-year warranty in the roof. What they do not tell you is that does not cover the seals on the roof. It just covers the roof membrane itself. So you need to be up there checking those seals, guys, religiously. It is important. And the good news is it's not too difficult. Any average Joe or Jolene can do this. You just got to be able to get up on the roof, visually inspect it, know what you're looking for, and we're going to do that now. Is that a good intro, cameraman? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, this is, like I said, an older roof. So 4, 5, 6 years old kind of thing. Looks like they have done some touch up year to year, but there is some more to be done. While we're looking at the slide, I just want to point out why it's important to sweep off your slide out. If you have debris like leaves or dirt or tree branches, and you go to close your slide out, what's going to happen is that bit of debris is going to get jammed in between the slide out flange there and the side of the trailer, and your trailer is going to leak. The slide out's going to leak. So it's important that you make sure this kind of stuff is swept off. So that's your first thing. Then you're gonna go around and visually inspect all your seals. So we have a TV antenna here. Okay, is that coming up in the camera?
Yeah.
Good. There's seals all around here, around the TV antenna, covering the screws, those kind of things. And you need to look at this and make sure there's no splits or breaks on the caulking. We actually do have some around this side here. As you can see there's a little bit of a void, okay, like a crack in the seal. What I would do, I would put a piece of tape down, make sure you come back to that and reseal that portion. Then you're going to check your front and your rear molds. Those are probably the most likely place for it to leak. There's a lot going on here. You have a molding coming across from the wall. You've got a molding where the rubber meets the fiberglass. Lots going on there. That's got to be in visual inspection. This one's not awesome. I'm gonna get a piece of paper towel here. Just trim this off. This is actually where we're gonna do the repair. Just want you guys to see this here. So, see how this is all cracked in through here? It's not starting to leak, but eventually this is going to create a big enough void the water is going to be able to get in here. All right, so before that becomes an issue, you're going to need to do a touch up here. So again, put a piece of tape here, come back to this area and make sure this gets done. We got more cracks here, more cracks here. Really, if I was to guess, I would say this entire mold should be cleaned up and resealed again. We're going to do a portion of it here for you today. Once you've checked the molds, you want to check all the other holes in the roof, right? Like your radio antenna, all right? All the vents, okay? around your plumbing stacks. Okay, you gotta be up here checking that. There's a little bit of a hole there. You'd want to clean that off. Put a piece of tape down, come back, seal that portion up. Same thing on this plumbing stack. All right, there's all these cracks in here. This should be cleaned up, dried, gone over again with proper sealant, and we're gonna get to that. Your vents, same kind of thing. Okay, want to inspect that. There's a lot of just small cracks here. This should be redone. All right, this is an important investment to you. It's a lot of money you've shelled out for a trailer. You should be touching up these seals, and this is a great roof to kind of show you that. So again, around the skylight here, again, cracks. This should be cleaned up and resealed. Okay, a little bit of voids there. That's the kind of stuff you're looking for. You gotta be on top of that. Roof ladder. A lot of times there's a lot of kind of pressure here, side to side. You can break the seals free. These need to be redone. Another thing that kind of happens often is you're driving these campgrounds. There's lots of trees kind of overlapping, and you can actually scrape the roof. So probably even before I checked for sealants, I would make sure you walk around the outside of the roof, make sure you haven't rubbed on a tree, actually torn the rubber, that kind of thing, because those kind of bend over, right? And then you can kind of do that. So I would walk down the corners of the roof and make sure you haven't rubbed anything and pulled anything apart. Now, there's a different type of seal here. So all the seals that are on the top or facing the downwards on the roof are what we call like a self-leveling lap sealant, but they use a different type of material down the side here. So what they do is they take the rubber and that wraps right on the corner. Okay, then they put this molding here to hold the rubber down and to properly seal it, and they take the same material like a lap sealant, but it's not self-leveling, and they're going to caulk along the edge here. Okay, if you see a void there, that has to be redone. This one looks okay. This is not a part that usually breaks through very often, but it can happen, and you would want to visually inspect that as well to make sure that hasn't pulled apart. And if that does, you're going to do a similar type of repair, but instead of using the self-leveling sealant, you are going to use a non-self-leveling sealant to fill this gap here. Awesome. We are going to tackle this front molding here, and we'll come back and do that. All right, guys, we are back, and we're going to try to tackle this front molding here. We're not going to do the whole thing. It's going to be too long for a video, but we're going to tackle about a foot long or a 6-inch portion of this front molding. This is important. I do think this is going to start to leak very soon if it's not already. First things first, with doing this kind of job, we need to talk about the tools. I've got like a rag, paper towel would be fine, and then I've got some multi-purpose cleaner. All right, I'm using a Windex. Just use like a really mild multi-purpose cleaner, like a Windex or maybe like a watered down Fantastic. And then I've also got my caulking tube inside of a caulking gun. Now, the product I'm using today is called Dicor, D-I-C-O-R, and that is the material that most used trailers from, I would say 2019 and back are using. But you should know what your roof material is and match that with the proper sealant. Like if it's an alpha roof, it uses a different type of sealant. Yeah, make sure you pair those properly. You don't want to use a Dicor sealant on an alpha roof. You want to make sure that that all matches up. But the most important part here is you're not using like a caulking, a caulking on a window. That stuff will not adhere to this. You have to use a proper lap sealant that's meant for rubber or vinyl roofs. Okay, so toward this area here, the most important part of doing sealants is not just the sealant, it's the prep work. So I'm just gonna clean up this area here, and see how it's dirty? I'm just gonna clean this here with a rag. Maybe a scrub brush here would be a good use of resources, having a little bit of a scrub brush here to scrub this in. But you can see it doesn't take much to get the dirt off. And now that I got the dirt kind of off the way, you can actually see all those cracks a little bit easier maybe, because they're dark and then the sealant's a little lighter. And clean around the area, right? Because you don't want to you want to put a lot of sealant on there, so maybe cleaning around the area as well, give you a little more grab on the sealant. So that's probably about as clean as it's going to get. I'm going to use a dry cloth now, a clean one, and just kind of
polish this up a little bit here, make sure it's nice and dry. And if it's a nice day like it is today, guys, you know, I would come back to this in about half an hour. Make sure this area is very, very dry. Because if the area is wet, the sealant's not going to properly adhere. So it's got to be clean and dry before you put the caulking on there. Okay, so that's pretty dry right now, but we'll give that about 20 minutes and hit it up with the sealant there. Right on, guys. We're back. I've cleaned up this area, let it dry. I actually went a little further, guys. I actually cleaned up the entire mold, this area right here. In my mind, this entire front molding should be done because we just got so many cracks in here. It'd be hard to actually just cover each individual crack. So we're going to redo this portion, but in my mind, this whole front mold should be done. And you know, this previous customer's let this go too long. It should be touched up, but we're going to touch up the whole thing. Now, quick point here. This stuff right here is lap sealant. Same thing around here, but we see a transition. We go from roof membrane to front fiberglass. And this type of sealant right here is actually just standard caulking. Now that should be maintained as well. It's a little bit less common that it splits. In this case, it actually has here, okay? So, but you attack this stuff differently. You would actually strip off this caulking and redo this with a good outdoor style caulking. But this stuff, we're just gonna attack the roof right now, redo this sealant right here. So, area's clean, area's dry. I've got my caulking tube. And I'm just gonna try to hit this in an organized way, but I'm just gonna redo this whole portion right through here. All right, so I'm gonna start over here. This is self-leveling stuff. So even if I do a really crappy job, as far as aesthetically, it's actually gonna level itself out there pretty easy. So we'll just cut right about there, because that's where it's really bad. I'm not the best with a caulking gun, but it doesn't really matter because no one's looking at it on the roof. What matters is that it's sealed properly. My cameraman brought up a good point. You know, in this kind of situation, more is better than too little. So, in my mind, using more caulking on here is a good use of your dollars. And the stuff's not that expensive. It's about 10 bucks a tube, maybe 15 bucks a tube. You know, you can see here if you're redoing a whole mold like this, so you can go through a tube pretty quickly. You might actually run out. No, I'm not gonna run out. And maybe you can do this a little better at home aesthetically, but you get the idea there. Okay. Like I said, I think the whole molding here should be done. Alright. If you want to save what you have left of the caulking tube, you just tape this over with a piece of duct tape here, maybe seal that end. But if you take that sealant off, or sorry, the tape off there, and it kind of looks dried out or cracky, just start a new tube. That's what I would do. Again, stuff's not terribly expensive. So we'll come back here, look at this repair here in a minute. It's already starting to self-level a little bit. But like I said, more is better than too little. Right on. So this stuff is still self-leveling out here, guys. But you can see here how it looks way better than when I even just first applied it there. And actually, all the extra sealant I put here in the center is kind of pushing things out. I may have actually used too much because I'm starting to send some over the corner here. But you know, you can always wipe that up. Again, the most important part is not how this looks, it's how it seals. And we got a great adhesion from the roof here around the molding. And like I said, I would do the whole thing. Typically, you're just gonna do a spot check, right? Like you're just gonna see a little crack here, clean off that portion, right, and caulk that up. This molding was in such rough shape that I thought we should redo the whole thing. But yeah, you're just gonna typically go corner to corner, or you know, maybe cover a screw hole or cover a little thing here and there like that.
Great. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, if you're not comfortable doing the repair part of the job, maybe bring it to a dealer, a service center of some kind, and have them do the repair part. But it's not too much to ask a regular owner to go around, check your seals every 90 days, find a wee bit of a crack or a screw pop free or something like that. That is part of regular maintenance, and it should be done. And again, the manufacturers are not going to be covered are not going to be covering a roof leak if you didn't maintain your seals 9 months into your purchase. It's important that you're doing that very religiously. But again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, maybe share with your friends. You can email us here at Layzee Acres at sales@layzeeacres.com, or you can call us at 705-833-2539. Get up on your roof, check your seals every 90 days. Have yourself a good day.